Hello everyone, Taino here, and as you always know, if you like my content, you can like it or subscribe. And now let's begin with the video. This is going to be more of a first thoughts or thoughts in general, kind of like a reflection on the PTR. As you know, the last build has been flagged as a possible release candidate. What does this mean? This means that there are chances now with BlizzCon coming near and with the patch being in some weeks, the patch drops on the 7th of November and the raid will open on the 14th. That, of course, does not mean that there won't be changes, but if the changes are made, they are likely for bug fixes or numerical tweaks. Chances of mechanical or talent changes or things like that are going lower and lower as they go through. So since the last update that I did in the 29th of September, there have been a lot of changes. A lot of the bugs that we were kind of informing Blizzard about have been fixed. There are some that still stay, new ones that have been introduced that of course we hope that they will fix. So if you like to know the other thoughts, I will just link them in the description and also make one of those cards. You can just click on it if you want for the one before when I go through all the changes kind of that they did initially. You know, now Rogue, the Subletly Rogue is a CD based class. What does this mean? If you are not inside one of your important cooldowns, those of course being the big ones are Shadow Blades and Flagellation, and the medium ones that you will be using are Shadow Dance, Symbols of Death, and there are other talents like Sepsis, Tornado, or a Mouse Bite, and Echoing Reprimand. Let's leave T like as a support thing that we also use, but it's not like a big cooldown that it's important. If you use it wrong, you are going to lose a lot of DPS. So the talents are straightforward. I'm not going to link any talents or anything like that because changes are still being made. And if you check my sheet, I have things about the current bugs, things that have been fixed, some videos that you can know about. I have to do new videos about a build because I was doing the APL for it. You know right now that this is the action priority list. It means the way we use the abilities inside things. So I have to fix many things for, in this case, Sepsis and Gorma mostly. Other people are doing Shadowcraft, etc., etc. So now we got really good changes, of course. As you know, Shadowcraft now takes into account the tier set procs and the way Shadow technique works also. It stacks faster, etc., etc. Get more power from it. It will be, of course, reflected in simulations. We also got many item changes. Now we can also see how they work kind of in the sims, like the Ember Soul. There's available now for the proc for dire straits. When you get to 10%, that you get a strong proc. It's also sims to see kind of where we want it to be. Not on pool, likely on pool of course, but who knows, depending on boss. And we have right now many different builds that we can try. Ones without Shadow Dust, one with only 1 point in Shadow Dust. Then in class 3 we have builds with 2 dances and Cold Blood, T, Echoing Reprimand, everything. You can always check the TC research for sub or TC research in general for the most up-to-date information. I of course will try to get everything also updated here as much as possible. You can also check the GR things and things like sheet for the new change. I will try to also, of course, update everything here as patch comes closer. And now, what is the goal of Subletly at least? The tuning itself, if you play Like if you log in today, 21st, well, 22nd, because AM here now, you will have some bugs that will affect you, that will, of course, impact your DPS beneficially or for the worse part. We have, of course, the bugs that I explained in just the last video. You can check it out if you want. I'm not going to link that one because it's not that important if you only want to know the overall power of sub in their current state. Is going to be, at least in my opinion, way funner and stronger than the one that we have in live, because being a cooldown based class with a strong cooldowns, a strong burst, finally, people that play it in mob or Warriors of Draenor can kind of feel it. Even Legion with Death from Above, it had really cool numbers burst when you are like, you don't even appear in the details and then you shoot up when you are using your cooldowns. That's a really good feeling. You also see big numbers. Secret Technique hits super hard. Sepsis also hits quite hard. Eviscerate hits as hard as possible now after some buffs, it got buffs here and there. Shadow Finishers also got some buffs. We lost the tornado interaction in the meanwhile. I explained it in one of the videos, but when you use Tornado, you don't get the full combo points with Shadow Blades more. That's something, of course, makes Tornado kind of a cliff AoE ability again. We'll just use Veil Touch instead. As for other changes, you know that, of course, sometimes are getting buffed, sometimes are getting numerically changed. The last one was like some nerfs to Vigor, and that was kind of it for Subletly. Outlaw got a little bit of a nerf. Assassination got Kingsbane nerfed twice, but then other things got buffed. And now he's also in a really strong position. But for DPS numbers, just don't look at them that much. Like if you go into Simulation Craft, you will find also that replicating shadows is bugged, and shadow finishers and things are creating some super weirdly. For AoE, Shadow Finishers is hitting once for each target, making us do like 4 million DPS. PTR, The sentiment, of course, is most of the people that have been playing sub for a long while are happy. Of course, there is also some people that will have contradicting opinions. Like, even if not happy, you can be like, you want some change also, but remember, this is not a retribution paladin or something level of change, but we still got really good changes. We have a little bit of a problem. I'm going to explain now some of the problems that the class has. The strengths are, we are a CD based class, of course, so now that is good. We have big burst, big damage, but now the cons. As a CD based class, if you use your CDs wrongly, you're going to suffer a lot. If you use them and you get a mechanic, you're also going to suffer a lot. If you use your cooldowns and you don't have the window that you need to do that damage, being 20 seconds, you are also going to suffer a lot. The good things, of course, is now as our damage goes way higher on those windows, it means that we have a valuable tool to be used in many raid encounters and dungeon encounters too. If there's an ad, if there's a boss that takes extra damage, if there are things that need to die fast, we are one of the best classes to just go and pop our Shadow Dance if we need Flagellation and Blades and completely destroy that target. Burst can go upwards to more than 1 million with the Ember Soul trick thing, and even then with full buffs or things like that, we also expected to get at least that high if we pop everything. Now, of course, we also are weak in 3 target situations. Let's see, on cliff, 2, 3, maybe even 4, because you can run out of energy, kind of. That means in some dungeons, in some places, you will feel your weakness compared to Outlaw or even Assassination. They also have now really, let's say, synergy with their talents that they didn't have before. They have Caustic Spatter, Kingsbane that also clips with that and other things. And of course, Outlaws use a really strong spec right now, the highest tuned, at least at the moment that I'm speaking, the 22nd of October. They do the most damage. They also had some bugs, but they got fixed. Same as Subletly will get some bugs and also they will get fixed. So I'm not talking right now about right encounters or dungeons because those are still being tested actively, and also apart from that there are going to be many changes now for things that of course will be good about us is, as you know, it's really easy to get the tier set, and our tier set is relatively strong compared to past ones when we were relegated at not even changing the 2 set until we got heroic or even mythic pieces in our tier set. Now also because of the high level changes, we are going to get the 4 set. We're going to want to change it really fast, likely on the first or second week if possible, and enjoy the strengths of our shadow clones. As you know, they also have some bugs, but it is what it is. So to end the video and not make it much longer, our thoughts are the spec now feels better than ever, at least for the people that like big burst, and it's not a really hard spec. Like people try to make sub super difficult, and even if you are playing the dust build, I talk this with a lot of people, and you will also have my help and the help of other people in the Rogue Discord. You can always ask. It's very likely that I myself make a shit use for each boss, and I'm just going to say this boss usually lasts this long. You want to use your cooldowns here, 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 and here. Here are the mechanics that you can get. Just don't use your cooldowns before those happen. You can get chosen, and then you will do a lot less damage. So, as always, we will see us next video.